Alright, welcome back to the Day One Podcast, guys. Tonight we're going to be going over the team recap from the New Hampshire event this last weekend. Jerry's going to give us a recap on that. So, Jenay, you want to start us off?
Yeah. So, Jared, can you let us know what is a team event in tactical games and how is that different from a normal one?
So there are team events in every, there's team divisions in every match, but it used to be once a year. I think it was twice this year. Two this year. There were specifically team events. So there was individuals there too, but it was the elite teams were only. I think the only thing you could do as an individual might have been intermediate. Yeah. And then the elite was all teams, and it was co-ed and male put together. So a lot of stages we were completing essentially the same tasks. So I guess that's the difference in specifically the team event versus like a regular tactical games event. And there's even back when we were doing it, there was it was hard to explain to people clearly, no, there's team in every, but it's a division. This is a specifically geared towards.
I think it's how the programming is going to be laid out for the weekend. If it's a team event, it's going to be surrounded. The programming will be made for teams. Not an individual event. We will adjust an individual workout to fit a team. Yeah,
and they're pretty clear about that at the regular events. That they're adjusting an individual event so that two people can do it.
Correct.
And it's really like a gateway to the sport. You can come in with your buddy that might know more about guns than you and can help you through it or whatever. At least that used to be how it is. I think that's still how it is. This one is specifically built for teams, and then if you're there as an individual, they're modifying the team event so that you can do the individual stuff.
Right.
But yeah, that's the.
And you did this one with Meg and Kennedy.
Yeah.
How many have you done with Meg?
Two.
Yeah. This the West Virginia last year, right?
Yeah.
And then this one.
Y'all.
So close. 0.7.
Hardly.
Yeah.
Hardly.
It's all right. We'll run that back sometime.
Yeah. But it was that was a lot of fun competing with Meg. I told Zach when we were there that it is a relief to do a match with Meg. Not that Zach's super fun. He's one of my best friends. So it's extremely fun. No,
I'm just kidding.
It's extremely fun to do with Zach, but with doing it with Meg is coming to the long range stage. There were no questions.
Right.
It was just I'm here with my magazines. Let's go.
Right.
And she it's very even between us, and even the shooting throughout the weekend, she shot better than I did on a couple of stages. I shot better than she did on a couple of stages, but our shooting is very even. Her weapons manipulation is fast and clean, and it is I'm trying to keep up with a pro, throughout the thing, and it's very. I only need to worry about my stuff, and it's a lot of times with teams. There's one teammate that's quite a bit better than another, or one that's a lot more squared away than another. And doing with Zach's 100% squared away.
Right.
But Zach gets nervous. He's big. He's a big dude. He looks tough. He gets nervous. Meg's just stone cold. There's no nervousness. Yeah, no nervousness. Was she the first women's champion?
Second. Tristan was first.
Yeah. She broke her foot or something.
Tristan broke her foot in 21 or something, ankle, foot, calf, something.
Meg got hurt the first year, I think, or she was still.
No, Meg got hurt that year too in 21 because she taped her ankle and then beat all the dudes on that 6 mile ruck, and then she took home.
Savage.
Yes, absolute savage.
So anyway, that's what the team event is. But yeah, competing with Meg is a privilege. She's pioneered a lot of stuff, and she was the first female on her SWAT team. It might have been the first female in that police department. I'm not real sure, but I'm sure she's a handful to work with. As a dude, you got to swallow your pride when you're around her, because it's she knows more than you do. Yeah, for 99% of the guys in this world, and guys and girls, everybody, she knows more than you, and you just need to sit back and do it. And then there's also I've owned businesses since I was 21. I've been the boss of largely everything I've ever done. And when I'm competing with Megan, I am sitting second seat. She's coming up with the plans. It's relaxing, man. Like,
Sure.
She's coming up with the plans. I'm there for the ride.
Yeah.
And anyway, but yeah, it's always fun. I mean, and she's also been here. She's like one of the first original females.
Yeah, she's
that
been
was
there for
competing.
2019.
Yeah.
And I mean, me and Zach were talking about it. It's like 6 years now.
Yeah.
And we've been competing a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And she's still at the top, and she's still 100% one of the best shooters,
Yeah.
if not the best. Like she's good.
Right.
And especially her weapons manipulation stuff is just like, somebody needs to pick her up and do like videos for their products, because
Right.
her stuff is it's good, but it looks good when
Right.
she's doing it too. So yeah, it's always fun doing stuff with Meg, and she's super smart, like good friend. Yeah, it's cool to be around her.
That's awesome. Do you want to break down the stages for us? Do a quick
Yeah.
recap on each one. Tell us how it went overall.
So we started off with the 2-gun stage, which was actually a 1-gun. It was only rifle. You shot partner A, partner B. So like Meg actually we did it backwards of most groups, but Meg took the red targets, and the red targets were up a lane that kind of angled off to the right, and then my targets were the black targets that were like straight away in a more wide open area in front. She had 10 targets, and I think the furthest one was like 320, and I think they started at like 190. So she had more targets than they were further, and the targets were the same size, like for me and her. My furthest target was 278 or something like that. So we picked it to shoot it the way we did because her targets were all in a line up the hill. So
Sure.
it was kind of like a curved line up the hill, and we kind of thought like I was going to be better at the wider transitions. She was going to be able to run those targets up. So that's why we picked it the way we did it. I think she had 3 or 4 pickup shots. I think she got on one target that she shot. I think she got on like her 3rd hit or something. But as soon as she realized that like there was a little wind, she adjusted, and I think she cleaned it from there. Then my side, all C zones. I think there was 3 or 4 at like 120 or 130, something like that. Or there was 3 at that distance. Then there was like a second horizontal line kind of a target. So there's one a little further back that was 225 to 260, something there. And then the further target was kind of like in some bushes. It was really hard to see, but it was up the furthest top right corner. So she shot all her targets, and then she had to show clear, and then I got in to the right of her, and I shot the rest of the targets. And I forgot what our final time was. I think it was 43, is that 50, 63, 43?
43 to 63. It's
73
a little bit of a
Seconds,
gap.
yeah.
Yeah. 73. I can't remember. It's on practice score. But Sal and Luke, they beat us by like half a second. I think we're second overall on that stage. So
Yeah.
to all the male teams, just keep that in mind.
I mean, Lupe's a baller at long range too. So
Yeah.
Lupe, I think she had 1 pickup shot. She shot the same array I did.
so good.
Sal shot the array that Meg shot. And then Lupe shot the array I did, and she was clean out to the 260 target, which was
Damn,
like
Lupe.
the 6th target that we shot at.
Holy
she
cow.
shot at the same order I did. And so I think it was the 6th target, and I think she shot that one a couple of times. And I think she ran it clean from there. She missed the 275. It was a black target and dark green foliage in the shade from the sun. So it was like the target was really hard to see back there. And it was completely blank. Like when you went later on in the day and looked at it, it had been grayed out from all the hits. So it was actually like sticking out.
Oh,
But
okay.
when it was painted black, you could not, without a scope, you could not see it.
Sure.
It was non-existent without a scope. When you saw it in a scope, you kind of just saw that there was a spot that looked different than the rest of it, but it wasn't like a clearly defined target.
Sure.
There. But yeah, Lupe shot it really good. And then let's see, Becky, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like crash test specs.
Yeah,
something like
how'd she
that.
do?
Yeah. She did really good. She shot the red side. First, Meg's wife and
Vanessa and
Brianna were partners, and Becky shot at like 2 or 3 groups before they did. But her partner, I don't know who her partner was, but her partner shot the same targets I did, and she did pretty good. I don't know that she dropped the shot.
Damn.
She may have shot it clean. But yeah, that for all the dudes out there, from what I saw, the females were shooting long range collectively much better than the guys were. So
Slow down, fellas.
Just a little
get your
flex
hits.
on
Slow
the
down.
dudes out there.
Well, so one thing is like when there's a barricade like that, guys have a bad tendency, like I've told you before because you're strong, to like muscle into the barricade, and when you do that, you throw your point of impact off.
Sure.
So like because you've zeroed your gun, probably sitting on sandbags and all that stuff, and then you bear into the gun, and when you bear into the gun, you're bearing into that free floating handguard. That's actually not totally free floated, and then it adjusts, like it changes where the barrel is pointing, just a little bit.
Flexes right at the receiver and the handguard.
And then they get too aggressive, shoot too fast. They don't have visual patience, and they end up missing. And then they start digging a hole because they're like, "Oh my god, I'm missing!" And they keep shooting fast. And then women will legitimately like, "I'm gonna go over here, aim, shoot." Go over here, aim, shoot, and it's like one shot hits all the way up. But yeah, I mean, we've had the discussion several times. Like women are naturally 100 times more gifted with rifles than men are.
And then because they don't expect something to happen at the other end, they're worried about what happens here. And
I don't know. It's just
we
true.
just got finesse.
Oh my gosh, get out.
Listen, like Aaron Hayes' wife, Nikki.
Yeah,
I think she might have been the first.
She competed in 2020. There was no championship in 19.
She's won women's elite like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
she
won it in 19 several times.
But I shot a 3-gun match, Jeremy's match, on top of the Connexes, and she had a malfunction. It was an oversized case, and she set her gun down. Because in that match you could use backup guns.
Right.
She set her gun down, got Corey Kay's gun that she had never shot before, used her ammo in Corey Kay's gun, saw the first miss, and then cleared from like 475 out to 600.
Shit.
Or close, 580 maybe.
Yeah.
It was on top of the Connexes, and the targets were on the other side of that back fence, which I know that fence line's like 470 or something, and then the last target or was back behind that fence. So however far that used to be, but they got stolen from us, and it was the best range in Texas, and it got taken
best
away.
range in the world. Dude, we used to get calls from people in like Louisiana and all these other places being like, "Hey, can we come shoot out the 2,000-yard long range?" And it's like, "Yeah, man, come on, see ya."
Me and Justin used to go up there all the time. It was like a 3-hour drive, and we'd go up there and do it. But I mean, that's a perfect example. She had shooting a rifle she never shot before in the middle of a stage, changes rifles and clears the rest of the targets.
Women are just gifted. What can we say?
Anyway,
right.
Oh my god.
So that was that stage.
Do you like starting off with a 2-gun like that? Well, in this case, just a long range rifle.
I'm not gonna lie. So y'all know, and like I don't really talk about it much, but like I get like the opposite of nervous. Like I just don't want to be there before I shoot a stage. Like why am I even here? Like I want to be at home. And then like they say go, and that all like I don't even remember that I was thinking that 2 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Anyway, when Meg was shooting, I got nervous. Like you can even see in the video, like you can see me kind of take a breath because like I don't get nervous often. I won't say I won't get nervous. I don't get nervous often. And so when I do get nervous, I'm like, what is this feeling that I have right now? And it was just like I did not want to let Megan down so bad. And anyway, so I got a little bit nervous before that. But yeah, other than that. Do you have a question? Did I not answer your question?
I just said, do you like shooting those first? Like,
No.
I don't either. I like getting warmed up
shooting them
first.
yeah.
But
I would prefer to shoot like a regular stage first before a 2-gun stage.
Get you nice and warmed up for it. Get the jitters out a little bit.
Especially trigger pull in.
especially for me. Like I count on that stage, and I don't want to be doing it first. But if it is first, I mean it's everybody's first stage,
Right.
in the division. So
Sure.
everybody's got to deal with it. But that's why I like that's why I like the way tactical games in 3-gun, they may be shooting some completely different stages than like
Right.
somebody you're competing against, maybe shooting and it's Friday because it's 3-day matches.
Mm-hmm.
They may be shooting a stage on Friday that you're going to shoot on Sunday.
Right.
So like, and it's just luck of the draw how you get it.
Storm rolls through Saturday
Yeah.
night. And
Yeah. Stage 2, Ruck around and find out. That was, you started off firing line, ran to a box. You did 5 burpee bag overs the box, and then partner 1 would do a burpee, throw their bag over, then they went over the box, and then partner 2 would just grab their bag and throw it and go over the box. So only one partner on each side had to do a burpee. So me and Meg kind of figured out a pretty good flow for that. And then we had the same weight. It was 80-60, the Go Ruck bags. We had the same weight that the guys, the male teams did. And it was not even. Going upstairs
Sure.
was not, it's not conducive for a female there. And because on the way, Meg was in front of me. So on the way up, she basically had all the weight. And then on the way down, I had all the weight. And then the weight was pulling us together. And that stage was difficult. But we got, I think I can't remember if we finished the 3rd or 4th burpee over, but we almost got back to the firing line.
how many rounds did y'all complete total?
It was 3 rounds total, and we almost completed the 3rd round. And then Zach and E got to the firing line, but they didn't shoot off all their rounds before they ran out of time. And then I think all the guy teams finished with time left on that one. So the male-female teams after that stage were in a little bit of a hole for sure.
Sure.
Especially since, the shooting at this match in particular was heavily weighted towards shooting because it's a partner match. So the round count has doubled, but the work penalties were the same as an individual match. And then the shooting penalties were still 10 seconds. In the past, we've done, I think
5 seconds.
it was 5 seconds that we've done in the past, but I'm pretty sure in Texas this year it was still 10.
10.
Yeah. So anyway, your round count has doubled, but the work penalties is if you're pretty much working alone
Right.
there. So if you got to the firing line for the last time and somebody else didn't, it was a big, you're getting gapped, even more than normal,
Sure.
twice as much as normal. So
Was that a factor in Texas as much? With it being, it was 10-second penalties per.
it was all male. It was all co-ed. No,
It was all male besides
teams.
one.
there was one team that was male.
Jenna
female.
Blackwell and Garrett Grover were a co-ed team, but the rest of them were male teams.
Yeah.
But obviously
I
with
thought Grover was Merritt's partner.
I
No,
don't
that
know.
was Clint Gower.
Kent Gower. Okay. I got them confused.
Clint Gower's from Phoenix. Garrett Grover, I think, is a San Antonio boy.
Okay.
I think. If you're not, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I don't know.
so in this match, given that there's 10-second penalties per, and you have 2 shooters, obviously it's way more shooting heavy.
Yeah.
Way more skewed towards the shooting, not the
Yes.
fitness.
Yeah.
Which is problematic. But in
Yeah.
Texas, did we feel the same way?
It seems like we didn't shoot as many rounds.
I don't
in
think we
Texas.
shot as many rounds in Texas, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't
feel
have the stage
I
documents.
obviously did it too with Blair, and I
Right.
didn't feel like that was as much of a factor there. But maybe the round count was different. We just didn't shoot as many rounds there, or the work penalties were greater.
I
where it
also
evened
think
it
that
out.
it also, I don't know. I was gonna say maybe something between male female teams and male teams, but I guess they're shooting the
Yeah,
same, so it doesn't really matter. Never mind. Dumb
Yeah,
statement.
but it definitely made a difference this time. Let's go to the next stage. Next stage was Spaceballs.
The ski and the
Yeah. So this one was actually a really good program. It's not like that's a surprise, but I said that he was well, this one actually, but the
Heard that before.
Spaceballs, it was really good programming on this one. So I forgot how many. I think you had to do 16. You had to get the bag over the. It was a 6-foot bar, You had to get the bag over the 6-foot bar 16 times. And then for the females, I think they had to get 14 calories on the ski erg. So, like, for example, I think it was 4 rounds. Let's see. Yeah, it was 4 rounds. So I did 16 bag overs and Meg did
14
calories. And then we would go shoot, and then you come back, and then I would do 20 calories, and then Meg did 16 over with 60 pound ball, I think.
Still over the 6-foot height.
Over a
So-
6-foot bar?
Yeah. Yeah, it was 60 pound. So we had 100 pound, men had 100 pound, and a female had 60 pound, but Meg handled it really well. E was picking it up like it weighed 5 pounds, and
No surprise.
it wasn't,
so strong.
you know, like you say one motion. It wasn't even like really a one motion. It was literally like she just like grabbed it and just like guided it over.
Heaved it over.
Yeah, man, she's so strong. So that one was programmed really well. I think me and Meg did really well on that stage. I can't
4
remember.
rounds on each implement? So 8 rounds
no.
total in
No,
the
2
workout?
rounds on each implement.
Yeah, so I only did 32 bag overs total.
Got
So
it,
I don't-
okay.
Like you did 2. I personally was on the ski erg twice and did the bag overs twice. And then the shooting, I think it was like 70-yard rifle or something, like close to 70-yard rifle. And then like whatever, 12, 15-yard pistol, something like that.
What kind of barricade did you have? Like a VTAC style thing or a tank trap?
I think that one's a tank trap. Yeah. And one time we shot prone. I can't really remember.
Okay.
I think that was the VTAC state, or I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah, whatever. Let's see. Next stage, Till You Drop. I don't really remember this one. Go, provide weight, proceed down lane, over carry position. Oh, okay, so we carried the bumper plates overhead, like
saw that.
standing overhead. While your partner was shooting, you were going. I think this was a point stage. So like, I think you got a point for going down and back or something like. I don't know. Meg was working the clicker when we were judging, and we had a new guy that was like behind us. So I was like helping him learn the clearing procedure and stuff. So I don't really know how the scoring went on that one. But while your partner's shooting, you're carrying the plate back and forth, earning points. And then you could only change on one side of the field. So you had to like time it with your partner that you were finishing here. So like I would always look to see when Meg was going to her pistol, and I knew I had like 15 or 20 seconds before I needed to be back to the other side.
Right.
And I don't know, I didn't see anybody drop the plates, but if you dropped the plates, you had to go back to what, like the half side that you finished on, start over again. And then you had to keep them over your head. You couldn't rest them on your head. Once you got crossed one of the end lines, you could rest them on your head or set them down. That was fine. But in the middle, you couldn't rest.
That would have been fun to be if you dropped it in the middle, you had to do like 3 burpees
Actually,
to
no.
plate or
So
something.
what happened is I said
would've
that
been
wrong.
better.
If you dropped the plates in the middle of the field, you had, wherever you dropped the plates, you had to run down and touch one end, run down and touch the other end, and then come back to your plates and pick them up and put
That's
them
That
cool.
sounds better. Yeah.
That's cool.
So yeah, I forgot about that, but there was no way I was going to drop those things.
What was the stimulus like on that? Did the plate thing matter?
We all got about the same number on the plates, I think. The people that ran out fast in the beginning ended up sucking air and,
More
burn
heart
off
rate than
yeah.
arm burner?
Yeah. We had a 55 pound and a 10 pound plate, so you had to like pinch them together and hold them. And then the females had 45 pound on that one. But yeah, that was a good stage. It was mainly a shooting deal, but not mainly, it was a shooting deal. Then the run was interesting because it was like straight downhill and then straight back up the hill. And it was 1.86 miles is what my watch said. And on the way down the hill, so initially I thought that we had hit like a 4:52 pace going down the hill, but then I looked at my phone afterwards, and for about 300 meters we were at a 4:20, like 5-ish.
Jesus.
Literally Olympic pace.
Yeah.
And like that's how steep the hill.
Well, they
the hill
finished at
was.
3:30 in the Olympics, but
Oh, okay.
Wow.
anyway.
That's fast. That is really fast because we were
Dude, 15.
Yeah.
The 50 sidetrack.
On flat ground.
1,500 meters on the track. They were running it in 3:32 the other night. That's 100 meters from a mile in 3:32. So you're talking
3:30.
Sub 4 mile.
350 at the most.
Yeah.
Oh, so crazy.
But that's not even that because they're in a dead sprint. Anyway, sorry. Keep going.
They're all 6'5" and weigh 100 pounds.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did it in plate carrier, no pistol belt, no rifle, no ruck, nothing.
Love
like
that for y'all.
Yeah, I loved it for me too.
No plate carrier?
No, plate
No.
carrier
Oh,
only.
plate carrier only. I was like, I
only.
thought I saw a video of people in a plate carrier.
So flew
It's not
down the
the
hill. Y'all know how I run down the hill. It looks stupid as hell,
Wide
but
open.
it was like fast. Right?
Yeah.
Like your arms are actually
Flailing.
circling this way. Trying to keep you're basically just like launching yourself off the hill and then catching yourself with your other leg.
Right.
But yeah, we got down there at the turnaround pretty fast, and then coming back up the hill was like a death march.
Mm-hmm.
Meg crushed me. She waited at the top of the hill for like a minute for me to finish. Literally, like a minute for me to finish.
Didn't she wait for you in West Virginia?
Oh, she
Yeah,
waited.
just like last
Like
year.
she was like, hurry up, dude.
Yeah, no, she didn't even say hurry up. She knows I'm going as fast as I can go. So I was like right with Horton.
Yeah.
And I was
That dude can
I
run.
was probably like 20,
He's
30,
impressive.
40 meters behind Zach.
Yeah.
It was really like me and Meg knew this beforehand because we talked about it beforehand. I said, hey, look, this is a race back to the hill.
Yeah.
Like we are running as fast as we can go because we turned around at this mailbox and there was like a tactical game sign and then a mailbox like 49 or something like that. We turned around right there and then you had like another 0.2 miles to get back to the hill. And I was like, you have to sell out to the hill because everybody's walking.
Yeah.
The hill, except for Meg, she ran the hill.
Jesus.
So yeah, that was fun. Watching
How
her
long was
run
it?
away from me? Huh?
How long was the run?
1.8 miles.
It was just so bad because
Mile down, mile back.
What were
Yeah.
the times like on that for frame of
Our
reference?
time was just or not. We may have finished just under 19. I can't
Okay.
remember.
That's still pretty
So
fast.
it was a burner.
Yeah.
Lately, we've seen, I feel like, a lot more of the longer distance
Yeah.
runs. So I like that it was something different.
Katie Knight and her
Ben.
boyfriend or husband, I don't know. They did it in like 16 something.
Yowzers.
I believe, 16 something. She must have been flying. They definitely had to have run
Run
up
the hill. Yeah.
Yeah. Right on.
I think that we kept like a 10-minute pace up the hill.
I don't think, but when we went to Pennsylvania in 2020 and then every time in New Hampshire, the runs don't need to be long because it's so potent out there. The hills
Yeah.
are so gnarly that it's no point in trying to make it 4 or 5 miles.
Yeah.
More supplepias, please.
This is a
All right,
sandbag one.
Yeah, sandbag one. This one was 18 bag over the bar. We had 100 pounds. Men had 125 on the 18 rep round. Then the 14 rep round, we had 125 and the men had 150. Then on the 10 rep round, we had 150 and the men had 200. And then on on round 4, we had 6 reps of the 200 and the male teams had 6 reps of 250. Me and Meg went 2 and 2, so she would do 2, then I would do 2 on the first round, and then on the second round we did the same thing. Then on the 150 round, I did 4, she did 2, and then I told her to go back to the firing line, and I did the last 4. And then on the round of 6, I did all 6 since she ran way faster than I did. I just decided to grab those. And it was faster because there was no transition time, and then her heart rate could stay low, so she could get the hits for us. But that was I think our bar was lower than the male teams on that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like probably 6 inches lower. But I think that the male teams were finishing probably where they should have, considering like Zach and E are super strong, can move weight real fast. And I think the male teams were finishing respectively probably where they should have there, considering like Meg moves fast, Meg shoots fast.
Sure.
So
Sure.
yeah, that was a good stage. That was fun. I liked that one. Triple booked Athletes. This was the 3-part stage. So the 3-part stage was you did 3 rope climbs and you got 2 mags. You did not, one partner could be shooting while the other partner was climbing ropes, but each person had to shoot their own mags. So like I had to shoot, what did I have? 5 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had 10 mags total. So I had 5 rifle mags, 5 pistol mags, and Meg had the same. So you had to shoot your own mags, but one person theoretically could have done 30 rope climbs if they wanted to. I know that E did. I mean, he's amazing at climbing ropes.
Yeah.
So she did not the majority, but like more rope climbs. And I mean, and Zach's like 260 pounds. Like it's just physics at some point. But anyway, so that was the first part of the stage. Just kind of went back and forth on that. So we started off. Meg, I messed up because I was supposed to do the first rope climb. Then Meg was going to do 2, and then go grab 2 mags and go shoot. But for whatever reason, she looked at me and like, you're an idiot, because she was like, they said go, and like I kind of walked over there, and she looked at me like, hey, you're supposed to climb, and then she just climbed the rope. So then I ended up doing the last 2. She grabbed 2 mags and left, and then while she left, I did 3 more. So like I did 5 right there, and then she came back. I grabbed 2 mags, left, and then she did 3 rope climbs. I came back and we traded off. At some point, she switched to burpees, which wasn't too much slower than the rope climbs. That's because the bar wasn't.
Was she ever waiting for you when you got back from shooting?
No, we were pretty much just.
So then it's 0 time wasted essentially.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It was one of us was working towards our count the whole entire time. Yeah. Second part of that was a 65-pound Rogue jerry can, a 45 and 55, the little kettlebell things from Ruck, or not the kettlebell, but like
sandbells,
briefcase looking things. I don't
Okay.
know,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Jerry's?
yeah.
The mini
Jerry's.
Jerry's?
Yeah, mini jerry's, and then a 60-pound ball, like the Ruck ball.
Yeah.
And the 65-pound Rogue jerry can, actually, so like I picked up the 45 and the 55-pound mini jerry cans, and then picked up the 65-pound Rogue whatever, and the 65-pound bag weighed more than the 45 and the 55-pound put together. So
Oh shoot.
but Nick told us, he was like, these do not weigh, before we started, he was like, the 65-pound bags do not weigh 65 pounds. Like they were all consistently way heavier than they should have been, or not should have been. It's just the weight that it was. It's fine.
Right.
That ate my lunch absolutely crushed me. Like if Meg wasn't there, I 100% would have laid on the ground for way longer than I should. Because you carry the bag, you go under the little parallel, carry the bag to the other side, turn around, come back, go under the parallel, whatever. And after like 3 or whatever, I looked at Meg. I was like, "You gotta take this back." So she like got it, and then like, you know how the women always like, y'all put it in between y'all's legs and
waddle.
like,
Yeah.
waddle with it, right? And I like collected I think I got the Sandbell and like the 55-pound, and like went over, and she ran back and got whatever, and she did that for one. So it seemed like one of the legs, if she would grab that, then we were keeping a pretty good pace. But like it was murdering Zach, it murdered me. Like it was a lot.
Yeah.
So that was that, and then the last part of the 3-part stage was you pinch carried down and back, and then you put those plates on a sled, and then Meg would pull the sled down to one side. I was able to go down and like turn it around for her while she was like stretching the rope out the other way, and then she would pull the sled back, and then I would take the plates off, pinch carry down and back, and then put them back on, and she would have her like the sled set back up to pull again.
So one person pulls, one person pinches the whole time?
Yeah, and it's alternating, so you're not working at the same time, because the plates that you're pinch gripping are the plates that go on the sled. So you have to like, I would pinch grip, get down to the end, cross the stick, then have to go back and put them on the thing, and then she would start pulling them.
What was the time domain of each section? I missed that.
10 minutes for the rope climbs. 9 and 6, I think.
2 minutes between on the.
It was 2 minutes in between the rope climbs and the bag carries, and then there was no time in between. So me and Meg left the second part of that stage with like 90 seconds left, because we knew the points were at the third part, and so we wanted to be like 100% ready to go when we got there. And when we got there and get our stuff set up, it was time to go. So we got like a round ahead of everybody by being down there.
And she had to carry the plates too and pinch.
No.
Both y'all had to do it, or just you?
No, I pinched the plates the whole time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
She
and then
pulled the
she
whole
pulled
time.
the sled the whole time.
Got it.
Got
Those plates were much wider than regular plates.
Oh, okay.
They're very wide. So
Got
it was pretty hard to hang on to. And so like carrying the 80 and the 60-pound bag on the Connex stage was like significantly easier for the male teams than it was the male-female teams.
Sure.
And I feel like this like leveled it out a little bit. Even though we only got like 2 or 3 points of 160-ish points that most people got, like we got the male-female team had an advantage on that one because we had to pinch carry 35s and the male teams were pinch carrying 45s because you were using the team was using the same weight.
Right,
So
right.
that's why we put her on the sled and I was doing the pinch carries.
Makes sense.
So, but yeah, and like credit to the like Tactical Games people, they made an audible because it was going to be 45 pounds for everybody. And like I went over there that morning and there was dew on the plates and like I couldn't pinch. Like y'all see me pinch grip 45s all the time, even 55s here. Those plates are like 3/4 of an inch wider, maybe even more, to where like only maybe 3/4 of an inch of your finger is like wrapping around the edge and grabbing
Oh,
it.
yeah.
So, and then there was zero chance. Meg's hand wouldn't even span the top of the plate. Like, zero chance that was happening. So they kind of audibled it there and switched them to 35s. Because none of the guys, even the guys that had to do the 45s, they allowed you to pinch carry with 2 hands on one plate. And all of them were pinch carrying like 2 hands on
Oh,
one
really?
plate. Yeah. And I don't even think that the females would have been able to do it with 2, like,
Do that.
it was purely, can you get your hands around the edges?
Sure.
And because Zach went over there and tried to do it that morning, and he could barely get it. Like, I don't know that I think he finally got it off the ground a little bit, but it was like, there's no way we're doing this for 6 minutes.
Right.
Like, there's not even a way I can get it down and back.
Right.
Type thing. It was a little bit easier to pick up at the end of the day because like it had dried out and there was dust on the plates and stuff. So I think that we could have done it for a little bit, but it would have been just a bloodbath of watching people trying to pinch grate.
Right.
It wouldn't have been good. So it was a good audible they pulled there. And then it kind of like gave us a little bit of a chance to come back from like getting totally murdered on the other one. But yeah, those are the stages that we had.
Overall, did you feel like the programming was pretty well balanced physically?
Connex stages, definitely it was a male stage.
Sure. But like stimulus wise across the weekend,
Like heavy versus
you know how you
fast
want to
versus-
mix.
Oh, like was there cardiovascular?
Did you hit all the modalities?
Yeah, I would honestly. I just got done talking about the pinch plates that they had to lower the weights on, but there wasn't anything too heavy there. Like the 200-pound bag is the heaviest thing that me and Zach picked up all weekend.
Yeah.
There wasn't really anything too heavy, no. But like the middle part of that 3-part stage, I don't think it wasn't heavy. It was just like exhausting
Grueling.
after all the rope climbs and like getting under that thing. I don't really think that was a capacity thing, like just smoked from climbing ropes. And
Sure.
now you got to go over and do this. But no, like the weight, because we went in the bag over stage that we did. We went into it and I said, "Hey Meg, like it doesn't say that you need to do any of this, and I can do this workout by myself." So like without really slowing down. So it's gonna help us if you're down there getting ready to shoot rather than trying to like split this evenly.
Right.
Type thing.
Right.
So and like Zach, same thing. Zach could have done it by himself without slowing down very much, if at all. And then E could have done it by herself.
Also
sure.
could have done it by herself.
So it was, I think the top end weight, but then like it's hard. I think it's really hard when you get male female.
Yeah.
Because
That was the question I was going to ask.
Yeah.
we've talked about it before, but like females have better, proportionally lower body strength.
Yes.
And then males have significantly more upper body strength.
Yes.
And so let's say they put like an axle bar in there, right? Like how do you scale that weight?
Right.
Because if if it's heavy and you put like 215 or 245, like me and Zach are fine.
Right.
But then now Meg has to do 185
Right.
or 195 on an axle bar that, the big around thick bars.
Be like
So-
165. It'd still be real spicy.
Yeah.
Spicy.
Even 100 pounds less than what the guys had would be a feat to do,
Right.
because it's just because A, it's an axle bar. So
Right.
so it's bigger around. And then B, getting it overhead and holding overhead is totally a shoulder thing. And guys have way stronger shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
And then a sled, like if you make it a really heavy sled for guys, it's proportionally, like if you go down to 60% of that weight, which is like the accepted guideline, kind of 68%, 65%, I think.
For
like
what?
that. That's
For
I thought we had
anything?
said like leg stuff was more like 70, 75.
Yeah.
And then upper body
It's
was more
anywhere
like
between
60.
70 to 80%.
Yeah,
Is
so
the
like,
scaling, depending on what it is.
If you do a 200-pound sled drag for guys, right, or let's say a 300-pound sled for guys, and you do like 220 or 210 for the females are going to be running.
Yes.
And the guys are going to be dying.
Yes.
It's,
Yes.
So like there's a big challenge whenever you're mixing males and females just because of how different the anatomy is, like where your strengths are. And females can do a lot more weight at higher reps near their max. And guys are like complete pansies when it gets to being like, you might at 90%, you might be able to do 2 or 3 reps, and then females can do like 15 reps at 90%. So, it's really, I can understand why it would be extremely difficult to like, unless you were doing like a heavy sled for the females and a heavy axle bar for the guys on a heavy stage, like you could do that, and that would be fine. But it would have to be like 2 separate implements. You wouldn't be able to, because like even if you did an axle, you're gonna have extra bars out there and stuff,
Right.
Or change the plates, and that'd be a nightmare.
Right.
Yeah. Programming for that too, we don't have a ton of data on because there's usually one co-ed.
Yeah.
We decide collectively that there's like one co-ed team match a year.
Yeah, yeah.
So the amount of data you have for testing co-ed elites is once a year versus the other matches you test males by themselves, females by themselves,
Right.
Yeah.
That's tough.
In the future, even if the tactical game says that male teams can compete against male-female teams, we're going to pick like as us.
Yeah. Yeah.
This match, so next year if they do 2, I hope they do 2 again because I really like doing the team things.
Me too.
We're going to make one that's male and one that's co-ed. And if you show up to the co-ed one with a male, you better take a step back.
Well, that's what we did this year, right? Like
Pretty much.
Texas was going to be all same-sex pairs, which is why it was literally almost all just
Yeah.
dudes.
Right.
And then you guys said New Hampshire, and we couldn't make it out to that, or else
Right.
we would have done co-ed and that
Yeah.
too and joined y'all. But
Yeah. So
that's kind of what we did.
Yeah. So there was one time where one of the male teams walked up to me and was like, "Hey, what'd you get your time?" And I was like, "Dude, it doesn't even matter." Like, it was like, "Go away."
It's not the same.
Yeah. So anyway, luckily, the podium ended up being all male-female teams,
Which is wild.
well,
A testament to the ladies. a
Yeah.
little
That's
bit.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
A testament to the ladies and the ballers.
it was honestly a testament to the ladies' shooting ability.
Yeah.
The shooting is what made the difference.
And me and you have talked about that for years now. That the ladies shooting is picking
That's cool.
up a lot.
So I mean, E's gotten very good
Yeah.
at shooting. Meg's always been good,
Yeah.
and then Lupe,
Oh, yeah.
she's been very accurate the entire time she's competed. So, but yeah, I mean, our targets looked noticeably cleaner.
Sure.
As a pair, like Neargarth, he can shoot really good. His partner was he was shooting good, just like that's how we were able to catch up. So, but yeah, that's that.
Do you have any standout moments for the weekend or standout athletes, like cool moments that you saw people experience?
I mean, Becky shooting the long range, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, you
just
mentioned
she's messaged me a few times on Instagram about shooting stuff and like actually seeing it happen in person. That's pretty cool. Like to see someone, I mean, even in a little way, like somewhat invested in, because you're helped them out with some stuff and you want to see them succeed, I mean, Meg going up those stairs with those bags, I felt so bad. But she just like, it was 100% grit that got her up those stairs. and just didn't quit and kept going. That was pretty cool to watch. It was like, she's a really good friend of mine, so it's like, you're like, yeah, you're getting it. But then also at the same time, you're sitting there and you're like, man, I feel so bad for her right now. Because like, this is not heavy for me, but I know she's dying right now. Yeah. And it makes me feel bad that this is happening. So there was that. And then, let's see. There's a lot of new people out there.
That's cool.
Ben and Lindsay from Staccato.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nate and that cop that...
Ashley.
What's her name?
Ashley, I think.
Ashlyn.
Ashley. Maybe? I have no idea.
They I think that was their first like bigger tactical games deal, but
Team is good to start off with.
yeah,
Absolutely.
Ben's bolt broke. We ended up being their judges on the 3-part stage.
Oh, no way.
So
Yeah, I saw it on his story. It was
I
like
missed that.
he said whoopsies or not good or something like that. Was it
Yeah.
extractor or something broke off?
So anyway, whenever Lindsay got done shooting her, like I just yelled at him, was like, dude, just get pistol mags from now on. Like leave that mag here, get pistol mags from now on. So he shot that, and then when Lindsay was done, because that got them like out of sync a little bit.
Sure.
And when that was done, I was like, hey, listen, use her rifle. Like, there's your mag with rounds in it. Shoot her rifle. And because you can shoot your partner's rifle and stuff. So he put his mag in her rifle, and then they were able to keep shooting. And it was cool to see them going through it. you know? And
Cool.
they were at or I don't think Lindsay was, but Ben was at the athlete camp. So I got to work with him a little bit there. And it was cool just seeing him do his thing. He's very like stoic the whole time he works
He
out.
is.
You could tell he was totally in pain, but his face was just the same the entire time. So that was pretty cool.
Stone cold.
Right on.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it was really cool. Mainly, I think it's like a good gateway to the sport. So there was a lot of really new people there doing stuff, and it was just cool seeing people super excited about it.
It's cool range too. Little side of a mountain.
It's changed a lot, dude.
Has it?
Yeah, they actually have like a real building out there. They just
Okay.
had like a shack before, from
Sure.
what I remember. And then they have like Connex Tower. They have 3 lanes on long range instead of just that one. I think they have a new bay out. Yeah, they had one extra bay out there than they had before. Bunch of cars. Yeah, it's
Sick.
yeah, they've improved the range a lot, but the building that they have is like right where the parking was. So second day, Sal and Lupe I got there early. Like I was there at 4:45, 5 o'clock to get in line to like park the car and get a spot up by the bays and stuff. Because if you didn't get a spot up there, you had to park down at the rally course and then trudge all your stuff up that hill that we had to run down.
Sorry, that was
Yeah.
rough. For those that haven't been there, that hill is what, probably 12% grade, 14% grade, and you're walking for half a mile up a hill.
That sucks,
I mean,
man.
it was a little bit wet on the way there.
It's so steep.
I had like a front wheel drive UTV, or not UTV, front wheel drive SUV.
drive UTV.
Cadillac, by the way.
Oh, hey, upgrade.
Yeah. It's lawless. It's lawless in Boston. Like you're like, that you hand the guy a little sheet of paper and they're like, okay, let's go get, it's this class of car. And he got there and looked around. He's like, you want to take that one? I was like, yeah, sure. Whatever. So
Holy
it was like some
cow.
kind of Cadillac SUV. And it was front wheel drive, and the front wheels were just like spinning. So I had to figure out how to put it in 4-wheel drive. And it wasn't even that wet. It was just that hill is
Yeah.
like, so anyway, we saw Sal and Lupe like show up with their bags and stuff, and then they had to go back down the hill, get their rifles, pull their rifles back up the hill. That sucked. So,
That's rough.
That's not fun.
but yeah, range super cool. People there are cool. The SIG people were there. There was a bunch of teams that they had there, so I would assume maybe that's where the SIG Academy is. So might do something there in the future, I guess. I don't know.
Do they have a range? The
SIG
SIG Academy? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a story behind that, but we'll leave it out of here.
Talk about that one later.
Yeah. We were gonna have a match there like 2 or 3 years ago, and then that's how we found Ridgeline. So
Got it.
I don't think the lady that caused us, the lady that prompted us having to switch, the SIG range is right in the middle of like a town.
Yeah.
And they have to get a permit variance to allow shooting on Sundays. And something happened with the permit.
Got it.
We had to call an audible about 6 weeks before the match and switch to Ridgeline. 2 weeks? 2 weeks before the match. Okay. So it it was a thing. It was a pain, and it was like we had.
It was probably one of the most nerve-wracking matches to put on.
Before, oh my
Well,
god.
not only that, but then like trying to get there, it's up this massive hill, and I'm taking this truck trying to turn into the. It was a absolute hassle. And then I think I had to pick up ammo on the way to that.
It was
in North Carolina, so I had to drive to North Carolina first, and then drive north.
It was the first year I owned it, and I was not involved in the setup and contract process with SIG, and I would say that there was T's not crossed and I's not dotted and things not fully understood from the tactical game side of things. And then through communicating with the SIG people, we figured out that it was going to, like, at the 2 weeks before we found out we weren't going to be able to shoot guns.
Rifles on Sunday.
We weren't going to be able to shoot rifles on Sundays, and then nothing before noon on Sunday. So we weren't going to be able to shoot guns, period, before noon on Sunday, and then no rifles at all on Sunday. And it was like, man, we just can't make
this work.
Yeah, that
Like
doesn't
we were thinking about doing like a big obstacle course with everybody,
Right.
Sunday morning,
Yeah.
and then doing shooting after that. But as soon as the rifle thing got,
Yeah.
And then
like-
and Ridgeline came to the rescue. They were super cool.
yeah.
They helped us out a lot.
cool.
And there was also like, I think you had to have everybody that came to SIG had to have a background check. Yeah.
Yep.
And it was like, that had to be done a month before. And I think only like half of the people.
Yeah, there
had
was
done
like
it.
80 athletes that hadn't done it by that
It was like
point,
80
so-
of 190 had actually done it. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like,
Yeah.
this is, so we ended up giving everybody's money back for their background checks and moved the match to Ridgeline. So, yeah.
Eeks.
But other than that, I mean, shooting with Meg, it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to make sure to do it again next year. Definitely going back to the partner match next year.
We'll see y'all there.
Yeah.
We'll be there. We're going to do it.
Y'all gonna be there?
Yeah, we're going to roll it out. Are we?
Yeah.
Okay.
100%. We got to get some redemption.
I'm gonna stop training her like 6 months before.
Okay.
out.
Never mind. We're not doing it.
Too bad. Kat's, she already knows everything. So anyway,
Jenay, you got anything else?
No? You got any final thoughts?
nope, that's it.
You got anything?
I'm good.
Props
All
to
right.
Meg for pulling the team the whole weekend. But
Her back's hurting from what I heard.
she didn't say shit.
carrying
The whole,
you.
dude, her her
Carrying
hands
you.
were bloody after
She did
pulling
say
the
her
sled.
hands were
It-
really bad.
I went to give her a high five, and she was like, so
All
anyway.
right, cool.
All right.
All
Cool.
right.
Team. See y'all next time.